people should know that the Fed has a very strong culture around non-political activity. And we are committed to achieving the goals that the law gives us, and we're committed to doing so in a completely non-political way, based on the best thinking, based on the diversity of perspectives. And we're always going to do that. And it's very much in the DNA of anyone who's spent any time at the Fed. So I would want the public to be assured that we have a strong culture. It's not a fragile one. It's not subject to being disrupted. We will always do things that way. And I would again want people to have confidence in that.
There's also been discussion of a face-to-face meeting between you and the president. If invited, would you accept that kind of invitation if it were made?
So again, I have no news on that. Nothing's been scheduled. I would say that meetings between presidents and Fed chairs do happen, and they've happened. I think I can't think of any Fed chairs who didn't eventually meet with the president. But again, nothing has been scheduled, and I don't really have anything to report on that.
If the president asked you to resign, would you do it?
No. I think the markets are pricing in downside risks, is what I think they're doing. And I think they're obviously well ahead of the data, particularly if you look at this morning's labor market data and the other data that I cited. So markets are expressing concerns, again, about global growth in particular. I think that's becoming the main focus, and trade negotiations, which are related to that. And I'll just say that we're listening carefully to that. We're listening with, sensitively to the message that markets are sending. And we're going to be taking those downside risks into account as we make policy going forward. So there is no preset path for policy. And particularly with the muted inflation readings that we've seen coming in, we will be patient as we watch to see how the economy evolves. But we're always prepared to shift the stance of policy and to shift it significantly if necessary in order to promote our statutory goals of maximum employment and stable prices. We had 312,000 payroll jobs added, a very strong number. We have unemployment remaining below 4% for 9 months now, the longest period since the mid-1960s. We have labor force participation picking up again and surprising to the upside, which is very, very welcome. And finally, we have wages, which are continuing to gradually move up. Average hourly earnings moved up. And that's quite welcome, and also for me at this time does not raise concerns about too high inflation. We will be prepared to adjust policy quickly and flexibly, and to use all of our tools to support the economy should that be appropriate, to keep the expansion on track, to keep the labor market strong, and to keep inflation near 2%.